Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. I am Sanyukta Saxena and we have been running this fragment special series. We are already down a couple of tiles and today we'll be exploring a little more, right? So this is the last one. I think this is the last one that we did, right, in our session 9. So let us get started and explore a few more of the tangles that we used in this tile, right? So I am revisiting the fragments that we used in this tile. We used about 12 of them and we have already drawn and practiced a couple of them. So today we will pick up two more fragments out of this same tile, right, that we drew and explore it a little more, right? So today let us pick up this one, right? So I will pick up this one and let's see if we want to pick up one or two more out of these, right? So what I'm going to do here is probably you can start in an orb, in a circle, or you can place the fragment in a square also, right? So let's do that. Let's start with our 4 dots and see how it turns out in a square. And let's again, like in the previous session, use the fragment as a string, right? So we will be highlighting the fragment also and we will be using it as a string also, right? So let's use the pencil first. So I'm going to first go up, come down. So form a 4-sided loop just as we did in that orb. This fragment is originally given inside an orb, right? And then draw lines emanating from these sides, right? So this is what I have done here also, right? So just that today I am drawing it inside a square. So I am doing the same thing with my pen now, right? So don't bother too much about whether all of them are same, similar, perfect. Just take it easy, yeah? And then create some sections. So I will try and create 3 in each, right? So this is basically the fragment which we are going to use as a string today, yeah? And I did draw it in this style inside the circle or orb, right? I'll quickly get rid of the unwanted lines here. So once we are done with that, the reference number of this fragment in the primer is L23. Yeah, that's L23 that we are exploring today, and this is the grid. This is how the fragment is drawn. However, the outer shape can be inside an orb, or I have drawn it inside a square, right? Now let us first start with the center and add a little bit of coffering, right? So now we are building on the fragment, right? So once we have added the coffering, then I'm just going to add another aura inside. Then I'm going to add one line and create a triangle. And then there are so many fragments that you can add inside a triangle. So I'm going to keep it simple. Added one more triangle inside and joined the 3 corners to the 3 corners of the bigger triangle, yeah? Yeah, that's about the center. Now we come to these sections, right? Up to us we have couple of sections here. So let's make this line a double line. Right, so once we are done that, now a whole lot of tangles that you can choose from. So let's go with Shattuck, right? So I'm going to start from one side, rotate, then go to the other, start from one end to the other. The lines almost 90 degree to each other, so you can start from the outside and come inside, or you can do it the other way. Again the second line almost at 90 degrees. Start from the outside, or you can start from the inside. Right. So just in case you are new to the tangle, I have done a video on the tangle shattuck. There are various ways to go about drawing it, so you might want to refer it. Yeah. Again, start from this side. So if you want, you can build that connect, or you may not, entirely up to you. Right. So I am trying to coordinate the two sides. Even if you don't, it looks fine. Take your time. Simple line work, nothing else. Don't bother about how many lines on each side. Go with the flow. Enjoy the strokes. Yeah. Now these small sections, you can always ink. It will add to the look of the tangle. Yeah. Right. You can also add a little weight to the last line that you have drawn. Again, it will add a little shadow kind of effect. Yeah. So done with that. So either you can do the same on the other side, or you can change. So I will do two on one side and other two, and a different angle on the other two sides probably. Yeah. So again, started with shattuck and going to go exactly the same way here also. So the next two sections, these two, I'm going to go with the tangle hybrid, for which I'm going to draw these zigzag grid forming B shapes like this, and then just like we did in one of the fragments, draw lines from both sides just like we do in bedweed, just that there are no weights here. Yeah. So other side also you can do the same thing, or if you want you can add some other fragment. Take your time and gradually do that exercise. Tangle hybrid, a Zentangle original, rotate your tile, take your time, draw each line with equal attention and focus. Yeah, so I'll do exactly the same on the other side. Go with the same tangle hybrid. Yeah. I'm almost finishing on the last section now. Yeah, done with that exercise. You can redo the lines if you want, re-emphasize them. Right, so we finally have these sections left. So you can either leave it the way it is, or you can add some other fragment, or you can add some other tangle. Right, so let's see. First of all, I am drawing these lines. And then I'm probably going to go with a tangle called Struggles. Right? It's a Zentangle original. It is not a fragment, but you can always use it as a fragment. Right? So Struggles is a tangle which has these sections inked alternatively. So in this section I have inked the portion of the orb falling in that section. Next section I'm just going to ink all the area other than the orb. Yeah. So take your time and ink the section other than the orb. Again, in this section we'll ink the orb. Next section we'll ink the section other than the orb. And that's how we form the tangle Struggles. Nice drama tangle. So take your time and gradually ink these sections alternatively. Yeah, like this. So I'll do exactly the same here also. So let us start here with inking this section. So we are done with these two sections, putting the tangle Struggles there, right? So now we are left with these two sections. You can either leave it just like that, or you can insert a tangle, since there are a lot of line work here. So let us go with something more floral, right? So let us insert probably mukas, right? So I'm just going to start with some mukas here. Yeah. Same on the other side. Yeah. And just fill in these small little intersectices. And you can either fill in this in between space also, or you can add something else, entirely up to you. Yeah. So I would just like to add some orbs there instead of inking it completely. Whatever little spaces are there. Yeah. Again the same thing. Yeah, so I will do exactly the same on the other side. Take your time and add these nice mukas. Yeah, done with that. Again, small little intersectices, just ink it, looks nice. Add small little orbs. So we are done with tangling, I think. A little bit of weight here and there will always add to the look. Right? So let us now move on to shading. Just revisiting the lines at few places. So as far as center section is concerned, good idea to add on these 4 lines which we use to add the coffered look, and on one side of the triangle or maybe 2 sides. Yeah. As far as shattuck is concerned, add along the line. And on the other side. Same with hybrid. Right, let us shade this much and then we shall see what else do we want to do. So I've started blending now. Yeah. So the center is done. Next, let us move on to our shattuck. little touch here, not much. We don't want the entire thing gray. Maybe what is already there on your stub is sufficient for that. Yeah. The hybrid again looks nice when you add graphite on both sides. Right, then moving on to this shattuck again. The edges, a little on the intersections, not much. Make sure you don't blend too much. Yeah, and then coming on to this section which we have not added any tangle, where we have not added any tangle, just going to keep the edges dark and just pull it. And the last one. You can also shade it like a gem if you wish to. Yeah, and then finally the circles. Is going to shade one side, I think, and leave the other side the way it is, like this. Yeah, I think we are done, right? Nothing else required. If you want, you can give a slight touch to your mochas, but I don't think. At times certain white sections look nice. So with your Tortolon, whatever is there, you can just give a slight touch on the mochas, or you may leave it the way it is, right? So now just pick up your chalk pencil and add a slight touch on the hybrid in the center where you have not added graphite. Yeah, looks nice. If you want, you can do that with your shattuck also. Add some highlights here. Slight touch, not much. Yeah, and then you can just add some white on the other side of these circles. And just use a different Tautolon or blending stub and soften it out. Yeah, so that's it. I think we are done, and we have used a fragment as a string, having fun with fragments. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. Let's close our tile now. So I'm going to put in my chop, right? If you want, you can redo this line. It will make your center pop up. Adding a little weight, right? So I shall see you again with some more exploration with fragments. Today we have used a fragment as a string, and the last session that we did, this one also we used one of the fragments as a string, right? So this is also a fragment as a string. So I'll explore more of the fragments. Shall see you again in the next session. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.